Meanwhile, cyber attacks are on the rise in South Africa and the continent at large with an evolving cyber threat landscape. Are the country's frameworks agile enough to pivot in line with growing trends? Manager of MANCOSA School of Information and Digital Technology, Trisha Govender, joins us with greater perspective.
It definitely is ever growing. It's a threat that's rapidly evolving and constantly changing, and it's definitely getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And actually, just how would you characterize cybercrime at this point? Are there different levels of it?
For sure. I mean, it starts off as simple as WhatsApp threats and becomes increasingly more sophisticated to ransomware attacks on companies and even government organizations.
And actually, just looking at the digital capabilities and muscle of South Africa, does this then hinder us from elevating on that level?
I think it does, in the sense that I think where our problems lie is not necessarily in our legal frameworks. We do have the PAPIA Act, we have the Cybercrimes Act, but really we lack in terms of enforcement of these. And we also have slow prosecution terms as well. And I think that is where we fail to respond to cybercrimes.
It's quite interesting because you say that we have these legal frameworks, all these laws in place, but enforcement seems to be lacking. So who is supposed to be enforcing? And actually, do the enforcers have enough skills and knowledge and expertise to actually counter these?
So I think it's two separate questions, one you're asking right now, right? Because in terms of enforcement, that will always come down to law. And do we actually have a specialized unit that is focusing on cybercrimes is a question. At the moment, not really. We're not like the more developed nations that have specialized units within their forces, like police forces, law enforcement, to dedicate themselves for addressing cybercrime. The second question in terms of skills and skill set, now that wouldn't sit within just a legal framework. That sits with companies, with individuals, in terms of our skilled professionals in the country, which we also lack. And that is a global problem, not just a South African problem.
Yes, actually. And I wanted to ask, I mean, we're not just looking at South Africa, we're looking at Africa as a whole. So is this a continent-wide problem?
I would say it is a continent-wide problem. And it's not only continent-wide, but global, in a sense that it affects every continent. Even the most developed nations are suffering from skill shortages.
Yes.
And South Africa is no different in that respect.
And I mean, we're talking about law enforcement, we're talking about skills, and everything really needs money to solve the issues. And I'm wondering if there is enough of funding runway in this regard.
I think definitely we need to put in more effort when it comes to investing in cybercrimes, in a cybercrimes unit, and also cyber security professionals, in terms of skill development. I'm not entirely sure if the government is doing all that they can do at present. And I do think that we need to look at other institutions globally, how they're investing in their skilled workers when it comes to cybersecurity, and how they're investing in terms of law enforcement and the specialized units that investigate cybercrime.
So learning from other more developed countries. But I'm also wondering in terms of partnerships, because we're always talking about public-private partnerships. Is there scope to do that in this regard?
Definitely. I mean, definitely. They should definitely consider if they're not considering now. And I think we need to grow in that area in terms of sharing threat intelligence between public and private sectors. So if they are more collaborative, they could definitely pool resources and increase the effectiveness when it comes to combating cybercrime.
And actually, what kind of process then should one or a company follow when they do fall victim to cybercrime? Is there a set out process where you know that there could be some sort of relief at the end of the process?
So I think in terms of that, every company has to have their own procedures that they would follow in the event of being presented with a risk, or in the event of actually having a breach. They are supposed to have something that gives them their risk mitigation strategies. And that is when they open up that to follow what are the next steps now that we've been breached and compromised. And then also, like I said, the Cybercrimes Act is in place and PAPIA. So they would need to follow whatever is on that act in terms of compliance, and then reporting it to to the authorities.
So as much as we have all these challenges, are there opportunities that are open for South Africa to actually go for, so that, we're not too far behind the ever-evolving and ever-growing cybercrime problem?
So I think the opportunity presented to South Africa, I think South Africa definitely has the potential to be a digital gateway to Africa, right? And so with the G20, the spotlight is going to be on us this year. So it definitely presents us with an opportunity to demonstrate not only economic resilience, but digital maturity. And in doing so, if we fail to do so, then we actually risk losing investor confidence. And at the same time, we risk showing that we have no digital competitiveness. So right now, we have the opportunity to buckle up and really think about what are the possible solutions to our cybercrime issues and how we can get that down. So when it comes to G20, we are showcasing a South Africa that is capable of being that digital gateway to Africa.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for your insights there. Trisha, really appreciate it. That was Trisha Govender, manager of the School of Information and Digital Technology at MANCOSA.